Now we got a fishing weight, a hook, and a piece of firebait worm, earthworm. We'll dangle it right under those falls. Right there. So, we're still, Cocosila River's down there. You can see the river down in there. We're walking along this trail. It's right along the edge of an old clear cut. I've shown you guys this before. That one's a hemlock. Now, we'll find a balsam. That's not a balsam, that's a Doug fir, but it's got the blisters too. The sap blisters. So see that? So balsam fir and or grand fir. This is a Doug fir. Does it too. Young Doug fir do this. That is like gasoline. That will burn. Fuel. It's great. Another little tip. A lot of guys, me included, you bring scrubbies, clean your pots and pans. There's horsetails, which are these. Those guys. And they actually have a natural silica in the actual, you can feel it too, it feels coarse. And it's a natural silica, and it is amazing. This stuff is amazing. You can see how it all comes out from the centers. It's amazing stuff for scrubbing your pots. So then you got dirty pots, you don't have soap, you don't have scrubbing pad, look for some horsetails. You know? And a nice big crop of them here. It's one thing to sit and get meat. Fishing's a really good way because you don't have to use a lot of energy. You can set multiple lines. But when you're walking and moving, berries, that kind of stuff. You know, end of summer, we're talking like prime season. This is the salal bush. And these are salal berries. And they are delicious. They're super sweet. They got kind of a very sweet, kind of a blueberry taste with a bit of a pine aftertaste. They're really, really quite nice. You know? Salal. Very nice. There's also, look in here, Oregon grape. You can eat that as well. Very, very full of seeds though. Just loaded with seeds. Much more bitter. Sour, not bitter. But salal berry is one of my favorite. Lots of salmon berries too. I don't know if I can see any. I was eating some back there. Oh yeah. It's just a buffet this time of the year, you know, getting to the end of August, September. I mean, everything's just pushing berries out. So, I mean, if you move, eat, you know, you could stay. If you eat all berries, you might get a little too regular, but you'd survive. So, as I hike through the bush, I'm looking for something to use for an anvil and a drill. And how I test see if it's hardwood, I mean, I know it's got a metally sound to it. It means it's much more solid. And this is an old alder. So an old alder. Alders aren't the hardest of woods, but they're a lot harder than a cedar, which is what I'll use for the hearth. There, looks like a piece up here. Oh yeah. Ooh, I think we found our piece. Okay, let's process this up. Pocket boy, silky knife, beautiful, nice little locks. Lock in 2 positions. See how she does. Ooh, look at that. That thing works great for processing wood. Wow. That's incredible. There's a knot. Go right through a knot. Very nice little saw. So yeah. Little silky Pocket Boy 130. Really nice little saw. That was a beautiful job. Even on a semi-hardwood like alder. We're just gonna make the anvil here and just make it nice and flat, getting rid of all the old wood. If you question whether it's dry, I learned this from Ray Mears. You take one of your shavings and touch it to your tongue. If it's wet, it won't stick to your tongue really fast, but if it's really dry, this is like Velcro to your tongue. That's very dry wood. Oh, so we got a little bit on that side. Sorry, I had my camera off. I have a pole. No. There you go. I'll try to do it again and get it on camera this time. Okay. Well, I'm going to try again. Northwood broke. It is doable. Sorry I didn't have a camera running. It was kind of a stupid move on my part, but I really think, I mean, it is very, 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 very difficult. It's not easy. For getting the dry wood, I'll probably keep this little drill on my hearth and stuff. Getting the dry wood is hard. Summer, it's, you know, it's not too bad. It's pretty easy. It's a lot of work. I don't understand. A lot of people are like, yes, practice your primitive skills, but I think a better practice is practice your bird nesting. Fire steel into a bird nest, practice collecting your tinder, getting the dry materials in wet time. That's better practice than this primitive skill. The guys who say, well, what if you lose your fire steel? Well, I mean, I'm going to have to drown because it's hooked to me, hooked to my knife, hooked to my belt. I have one in my pack. So, I mean, literally, I'm going to have to lose everything. I have to be stripped naked not to have a fire steel. Then I got bigger worries than starting a fire. You know, if I was wet, I mean, you know, some guys go out with this stuff, and this is the way they start fires. You know, awesome. You know, good for you. In my area, when it's raining and where you're crossing rivers all the time, all it takes is one dunk, and you're over. You're done. You're not. You have no other way to start fire. It should not be your primary. It should be a hobby. You should practice it. It should not be your primary skill. So, let's show the difference. I mean, I've been here for a solid 35 minutes to get to that. Let's do it with a fire steel and see the difference how fast it is. Okay, I'll get some tinder and I'll be back. Okay, so very dry moss hanging from a tree. Said we'll take the cedar bark, shave it up. Okay, so a ferrocerium rod, a little bit of cedar. You know, you got fire. So let's just put it out in the river here. So there's one thing about learning primitive skills. I think the best primitive skills you can learn are more procuring food. So you want to learn what native species of plants are good medicinally, which ones are edible, what time of the year they're available, you know, what ones are good for cordage, which ones are good for tinder. Also, you know, the undersides, you know, just that kind of stuff. I don't think a bow drill, a hand drill, a fire plow, they're not feasible in a true survival situation. It's different altogether. If you know, you're dumped, you know, you're in a plane crash and, you know, you're somewhere you don't have your stuff with you. The likelihood of that happening, pretty slim. So I wouldn't count on that. If I go out in the bush, I have my stuff with me. You know, if I go camping, I have my stuff with me. This is a really good skill. It's neat to learn. It's cool to show people. You know, when it's coming down to a survival situation, it's coming down to calories. To survive, you have to obtain and reserve calories. Using a bow drill, using a hand plow, that kind of stuff is not an effective way to conserve calories. A fire steel, a lighter, you know. So that's the best way to preserve calories, and that's how you're going to stay alive. Figure out how to build shelters and all that stuff. Practice this. You know, it's cool to practice, but is it a viable way? Realistically, and I mean realistically, like if you're really in trouble and you're out in the bush, you know, it ain't. There's too many what ifs. There's too many variables. All you have to do is have your cord break, and then you're down half the size. All you have, you know, then you're in real trouble. I believe in a fire steel. I like a fire steel. They're very simple. You know, you're less likely to hurt yourself, less calories. So yeah, that's the end of my bow drill. I remember why I didn't do it. I haven't done it for 10 years. I hate it. I hate it. Check it out. There's a mink on that rock over there. Let's see if we can get close to him. See him swimming. We're going after crayfish. There he is. Look at that little bugger. Look at him swim. Oh. Oh, there he is. There he goes. Look at him swim. Look at him swim. You know, down the rapids he goes. Yeah, there he is on the rock over there. I don't know how much I got. We'll edit that out. That was pretty cool. So yeah, I just watched that mink swim away. That's pretty cool. I think what they're going after is crayfish. This river's full of them. So I'm going to go back downstream, find a stick, make a 3 or 4 prong stick, we can harvest a couple crayfish. Good. So, the wood I picked is a bush called ocean spray, and the reason I picked it for making a 3 prong or 4 prong spear is because it has a pithy center. So, stick here. you can see the pithy core in it. So, we'll do that. Take some rope, wedge it down in there, like so. Around, put that end down in there. That around. Now we'll just go down left of it. Yeah, spread that out. Now you just take your knife, slide it in there. Now, this is where that's my 11 and the blade's a bit smaller. Just get in there. So, see, I got them down to a nice point. You know, nice stiff wood. It's good wood for this. So, what we're going to go after is, see if they're down there. What we're looking for is crayfish. What I might have to do is build a crayfish trap. There's one over here. Might be too far out to get. Look at that. Got him. Didn't even pierce his body. I caught him in the claw. Oh, he's biting onto it now. He's pissed off. Look at him. So he's not damaged, so I can let him go. Because I didn't pierce him, he just, like I said, his claw just wedged into the hook. So, this river's full of crayfish. I mean, you could... Yeah, this river's just full of crayfish. You could scour up and down, get under these rocks and stuff like that. You could probably find in an hour, you could probably find 25 or so. So, I mean, that's a meal. That's a good meal. That's some good... and the other thing is, it's bait. You could eat a bunch of it. You could also use a bunch for bait for trout. This guy's picked off. You let go. So there he is. Undamaged. We'll see how nice that worked. Let's see if he gives a little display for the... Come on. Come on. There he is. Not a big one. There are a lot bigger ones in there. He's a nice little guy. So yeah. There he goes. Back and safe. So a very viable way of fishing for crayfish. You know, their angular hard bodies get wedged in there really easy. I might have to build a crayfish / prawn trap. Something very collapsible, pops down real small with a piece of paracord to it. So you can just throw it into a pool with some bait in it, and away you go. You get to catch some food that way. Always looking way to procure food the easiest, low-calorie way. Those guys, you know, you're not going to fill yourself on them, but they'll keep you from starving. Yeah. That might be the end of my day. It's been a blast though.